Hello students, let's read the problem. And it says, Mr. Science requests a bank loan to pay his taxes. Which of the following represents the best option to pay the lowest amount of interest? Okay, so we're looking for what? Well, we want to find out which one of the options will give him the lowest interest. Is that right? So we have answer choices, right? Now, I don't know if you noticed, but they're not telling us how much is the loan that he's going to get. It just says, for example, letter A, it says how much is going to be the interest, right? And the months or the time that he's going to do it, right? It says that it's a simple interest. That's the percent and the months, the interest, the percent and the months, but it doesn't say how much money or how much is going to be the loan that he wants to get, right? So please don't tell me, oh, then we cannot do it. Yes, we can, okay? So for this problem, we're going to pretend, we're going to imagine that the loan was $1,000. And the reason why I chose $1,000 is because it's like multiplying by 1 with a lot of zeros, right? Just to make things a little bit easier for us. So what we're going to do is we're going to work at each one of the answer choices that we have with that amount of money, okay? Because if you're thinking, for example, Miss, I was thinking about letter D because it's the one that is only 5%, right? Well, 5% doesn't necessarily mean that it's the best choice because look for how many months that was happening. 12 months, a whole year, right? So there's a lot of factors that we need to consider. That's why I don't want to go with just looking at the percentages, okay? So we're going to work it out and it should not take us that much time. Look, the interest, I do not know that one, but I do know the principal, which is 1,000. The rate is 9%. Now remember, this is 9 over 100, which is the same as 0.09. If you want to just write down 9 over 100, it's totally fine. And the time, that one you do need to write down 4 over 12. Because remember that that's months and I need the years. So we need to write down the 12 months, right? And that will give me 4 over 12. So that will give me, if you input all that in the calculator, that will give you 30. So in my problem, if the loan was $1,000, we will pay $30 of interest, okay? But we're gonna work the same problem with the same interest, but with a different interest rate, okay? So the principal is still gonna be 1,000. That's the only way that I can compare them if we use the same amount of loan. Don't change it because then things go different, okay? So my interest rate is 10%. Now remember, 10% means 10 over what? 100. Very good. And that will give you 0.1 or 0.10. It's up to you. And the month is 6 months, so that will be 6 out of 12. So work it out. Write it down in the calculator, please. And this will give you a 15. So this one is option A. This one is B, right? Okay, let's go on to the next one. You see how easy it is? Yes, but remember, many times I recommend you guys to imagine if there's not enough data, you can always bring something to the problem as long as you're consistent, right? So this is my interest. My principal is still 1,000. We're not changing that at all. The rate is 8%. Okay, so remember this means 8 over 100. If you want to, you can just write down 8 over 100. You can just input that in the calculator as well and using parentheses, of course. And the months will be 10 out of 12. Okay, if you work this out, you're going to get 66.66, something like that. So we'll just leave it as a 66. So far, what's the best deal? Option A, right? Because this one is option C. So let's do the last one. We're going to work it out up here. So on this one, we're going to say this is interest. The principal, we're still using the $1,000, right? The rate is 5%. Now remember, 5 means 5 out of 100. If you want to change it to a decimal, that will be the same thing as 0.05. It's up to you. And the time will be 12 months. Isn't it 12 months a year? Yeah, so we can write down a 1. If you write down 12 out of 12, remember that's the same thing as a 1. Okay, so we got it. And the last one will give me a 50. Okay, so which one is the best choice for us right now? The one that says $30, right? Therefore, that would be option A. Very good. Now, if you tell me, Miss, what about if I chose $5,000 as a loan? Would that make a difference? No, it will not make a difference. Of course, these numbers will be different, but your option A will still be the lowest interest that you will pay. Okay, so that's another way that you guys could do the problem.